I'm going to do this because of people that are atheist. Because I think it's funny. I have a couple of nice Bibles. I like them. As you can see, there's bookmarks in them. I am not in any church. I honestly do not believe in any particular religion at all. I think that religion is kind of biased because every religion will say that I'm the right one. But here's my thing with atheists. A lot of them will say, I just don't believe in God. And I go, okay, why? And they'll just say that they don't. I'm like, well, have you ever read the Bible? And they'll say that they have not read the Bible or even taken the time to look at it. And that's when I say, well, you're not an atheist, you're just a fucking moron. And the reason they don't understand that is because a real atheist is somebody that has taken the time to read the Bible and many other manuscripts. I've got many of these other books laying around. I just don't have the time to grab them. But they've also taken their time to come to an ultimate conclusion that they believe that there is no such thing as God. Most atheists are morons because they've never taken the time to even read the most important part of why they should be an atheist. Because this book right here should be enough to change your mind, but hey, who am I to preach? Like I said, that's why I don't believe in churches. Because another example of like people that are atheists, they've read into it. But people that claim they're atheists most of the time that have never read the Bible are fucking morons. That's why I was saying I don't particularly practice any religion. Honestly, Mormonism, I think Mormonism is an absolute fucking joke. I'm sorry. There's no such thing as a latter day saint. Oh, latter. Let's just make a play on words. Latter day saints. Bullshit. It's literally a play on words. I'm sorry, but Joseph Smith was a piece of shit. The Book of Mormon is bullshit. The Golden Tablets are bullshit. Mormonism is bullshit. It's a cult. Here's where I can tie two and two together, because I know enough information to tie two and two together. Mormonism has a lot more to do with masonry than religion. Pure and simple. The symbolism's all there. You look at their temples, all the symbolism is there. The handshakes, everything. It's all there. It is nothing but a cult. And that's not just an attack on Mormonism. Let's bring up Catholicism. Should we even go into that one? About the things that have come up about Catholicism? Let alone Christianity. And it's nothing against people that are Christian, but it really infuriates me how Christians will go around saying, unless you believe in Christianity, you're going to hell. No, that's not how it fucking works. That's not what this fucking book tells you. This is not what that book tells you. And then people say, you have to go to church. No, you fucking don't. This book tells you that. This book straight up tells you that your body is the temple. Your body is the church. So that's why I do not like religious people at all. I do not like people that... It's not that I don't like them. I just don't like their mindset of you have to pick this type of church. Because I've experienced Mormonism, Lutheranism. That one's kind of a hard one to enunciate. Catholic, Christian. I've been through a bunch. I've actually looked at Buddhism. I've looked at Muslim. I've looked at Islamic. I've looked at Hindu. Because I like to read. And honestly, my conclusion through all of that is there definitely is God. There definitely is Jesus Christ. There definitely is the Holy Spirit. It fully exists. I've actually felt it. I still feel it to this day. Because once he knocks and you let him in, he's always there with you. But to say that only one is the correct one, or this or that. The Bible fucking tells you and warns you about that. The Bible literally warns you about that. That's why it tells you that your body is your temple. So on Sundays when they tell you you need to go to church, no you don't. You already are the church. You just need to let God in. It's fucking simple. And once you do that, yeah, you might still have struggles. That will always happen. That's part of the plan. That ties in 2 and 2 with the Masonic part. It's always the plan. There's always a plan. No matter what choice you make, it was already predestined. That's why I don't like atheists that claim they're atheist, but they've never read the book. That just tells me they're stupid. They're ignorant. They're morons. They're not educated. They don't know how to read. They just know how to scroll. People that tell, oh yeah, I read all the time. Uh-huh. Sure you do. On your phone. You don't read. You don't take the time to open something and be like, the book of Job. Have you ever read the book of Job? You guys think that this guy was a super godly guy? You know what he fucking went through? J-O-B. Job. His name is Job, but what he went through, getting swallowed by, I'm not even going to go into detail because you motherfuckers won't even read it. But that's my point. That's why I'm not atheist. That's why for a long time I said I was agnostic. But no, there was one day, and I was kind of at my lowest of low, but it's very hard to explain. But it was literally, I'm trying to think of a way to explain it. It was literally like, suddenly you just feel like somebody grab you and I can't explain it. It's the most difficult thing to explain. But the feeling that you get from it. And then you definitely know. That's why I carry my cross. But, you know, it's amazing to me how people can be like that. And I think they're lost. Because, like, when I look at things anymore, especially like the people that will flip out on the cops to an extreme. I mean, there's a lady in a Walmart that literally was trying to make them arrest her just because she wanted them. She was the one that called the cops on herself. It would make no sense. I swear that these people are possessed. Because to believe in God, you also need to believe in the devil. 2 and 2. And that's another reason I don't like religions, because they always say, well, God is almighty, all-powerful. Yeah, that's true. But then, you know, you go to the dark side and they're like, that doesn't exist. He's banned. He's banished. Well, he is actually the guy that kind of runs this plane, which the Bible literally explains. Kind of like when Jesus, the devil literally told Jesus, I can give you all this. And Jesus is like, you can't give me what's mine already. That's how much you guys don't know. And that's just a little tidbit from this book. There's so much in this book that correlates. And people say it's just one book. No, it's not. It's absolutely not one book. This book was wrote over thousands of years. And all of it coincides. There will never be a book ever created that can accomplish what this book did. There's never going to be a book that has so many coincidental things. There will never be a book that we've found more archaeological discoveries from. And to say that it's not true, these people just saw things and they just didn't understand what they were seeing. Yeah, you see things all the time that you don't understand what you're seeing. Does that make it not true? It makes no sense to me how people can be that way. But yes, if you're atheist and you've never even attempted to read the Bible, then you're just a fucking idiot. Pure and simple. You've never even tried to educate yourself. And that's why you're like that. That's why I think a lot of these people that are in that alphabetic community, I think they're possessed. They're possessed because they've opened the doors. Because once you open the doors, it goes the same way. You open the doors for God, yeah, God will come in. But you open the doors for those fucking demons, they're not going to wait. And they will be within you. Very fast. Magic is very real. Magic is a very real thing. I know it sounds stupid when I say that. I'm not talking like a magician. I'm talking magic with a K. But it's very real. There is black and white magic. A lot of your music artists are doing black magic. They are doing life-altering things that will affect them. I guarantee you it will affect them in the long run. White magic affects you immediately. White magicians tend to have terrible health, but they're doing good magic is what it's considered. Magic, regardless, you shouldn't be practicing. And if you know what I know, you shouldn't fucking dabble in it. Because you could put a hex on somebody and it will fucking work. It's not fake. If you know what you're doing and you put a hex on somebody, it will bind to them. That's why I always tell people, dude, be careful. Don't dabble in shit you don't know. Do your research, do your reading. Be wary. And for the love of God, if I have somebody come up to me and say that they are an atheist and they've never opened the fucking book, I'm going to call them a fucking idiot. Every time. Because they don't know anything. They don't know that they're an atheist. They just think they are better than that. Which tells me that there is something underlying within them they don't even know is in there. That is the definition of it. So don't be a moron. Read the fucking book. Whether or not you don't agree with it, read it. You might find some things. Here's an example, because I know a lot of people that are atheists. It's funny, they'll read Harry Potter and they love Harry Potter. They don't realize that that individual that wrote those books heavily based it off of the Bible. But anyways, maybe do some fucking reading. Because if you like Harry Potter, you'll like the Bible. Because there's dragons, giants, all that shit in there. There's adventures, magic. It's all in that book. And if you don't want to read the Bible, fine. Read one of the books that have been removed from the Bible. A great instance is the Book of Enoch. And this is what pisses me off, because Christians will be like, there was a reason that was taken out. No, you're just a fucking idiot, and you don't know what the Romans did when they removed all those fucking books. There's a reason they removed those books, because they didn't want the people to know about those books. So don't sit there and tell me that your Christian fucking religion is precise, because it's not. It's inaccurate. And you Christians out there that want to preach to me about that shit, look at who wrote the fucking King James Version. King James, right? He wrote the book of demonology and witchcraft before transcribing this book that you all fucking worship. Also, by the way, did you know that King James was part of the Masons, Knights Templar, etc.? That's how much you guys don't know. That's how you become intellectual, is you actually break the barrier of learning. You learn. You don't fucking sit there and just believe it. You criticize everything. You learn by questioning. That's how I know that I can believe what I believe. And I heavily believe in the Holy Spirit, the Trinity, and everything like that. I heavily believe in God and Jesus Christ. But I believe in a manner that I don't think anybody that's religious does. Because I've actually gotten more people around me, personally I think, to open this fucking book and actually take the time to read a little bit. Personally, I think that's true. Because you guys in your religions make it seem like you have to be prim, proper, all this shit. No, you don't. If you actually read the Bible, you notice that most of the fucking people that God chose were miscreants, criminals, committing rape, murder, all this shit. You think Paul was a good guy? Are you fucking kidding me? Read about who Paul was before you actually read about who Paul was. That's my point. Sit there and fucking praise shit, acting like you guys don't even teach the actual parts of the reality of things. You guys just teach the little fucking, what I like to call the cream on the top. Because that's all you want to go about. You guys want to talk about the little lenient parts that God did. You don't want to talk about what actually happened. You don't want to talk about how, like, for instance, right now it's Pride Month. Well, I want the fucking rainbow back because that was God's apology for fucking flooding the earth. Pathetic plebs. Learn.